Respect. It is not something you beg for, it is not something you demand with raised voices or desperate pleas. Respect is commanded, quietly, firmly, without noise. The moment you walk into a room, people are already deciding whether to listen to you or dismiss you. And in that moment, it is not your wealth, not your appearance, not even your words that matter most. It is the energy you carry, the discipline in your posture, and the certainty in your silence. Respect is not about forcing people to see you. It is about making them feel your presence without explanation. And today, I will tell you how to do just that. How to command respect instantly without asking for it. The silent power of presence. Respect often begins before a single word is spoken. Think of those moments when someone enters a room and instantly the atmosphere shifts. No announcement, no demand, just presence. That is the silent power that commands respect. It is not in loudness, but in composure. It is in the way you carry yourself, in the stillness of your eyes, and the steadiness of your posture. People unconsciously read these signals. They sense when someone carries certainty within them, a calm spirit, a patient pause, a deliberate silence. These things unsettle arrogance and attract admiration. Respect does not always require speeches. Sometimes it is earned by being the one who does not rush to prove anything. When your presence speaks louder than your voice, people lean in to listen when you finally choose to speak. Silence, when combined with strength, becomes a language in itself, and it tells the world, I do not need to fight for your attention. I already have it. That is the first step to commanding respect, mastering the art of presence. Boundaries are your shield. Respect is not only about how you carry yourself, it is also about what you will not allow. People measure you by the lines you draw, and those lines are called boundaries. Without boundaries, you become an open field where anyone can walk freely, leaving behind only footprints of disrespect. But when you stand firm, when you calmly but firmly say, this is where it ends, you send a message that echoes louder than anger. You value yourself. Boundaries are not walls of isolation. They are shields of dignity. They protect your time, your energy, your heart. And when others realize you will not tolerate disrespect, they cannot help but step carefully in your presence. True respect is not given to those who always say yes. It belongs to those who have the courage to say no. Each time you enforce your limits, you remind people that your life has value, your peace has meaning, and your voice has weight. Boundaries are not weakness. They are strength in its most silent form. And when you live with them, people learn that to be near you is a privilege, not an entitlement. Unshakable self-discipline. Respect does not bow to talent alone, nor does it yield to charm. It belongs to those who master themselves. A person who cannot control their emotions, their impulses, their tongue, will never command true respect. Discipline is the invisible crown worn by those who walk with authority. It shows in the way you keep your promises, even the ones you make to yourself. It reveals itself in the way you rise when others stay asleep, in the way you stay calm when others lose control, in the way you hold back words that can wound when silence would serve better. People respect those who are not slaves to mood or desire, but rulers of their own inner kingdom. Self-discipline whispers of reliability, of trust, of quiet strength that does not break under pressure. It is the rare quality that separates leaders from followers, the respected from the overlooked. When you discipline yourself, you no longer need to chase respect. Respect comes to you, drawn by the gravity of your strength. For the one who rules themselves has already conquered the hardest battle of all. Consistency builds authority. Respect is never built in a single moment. It is carved over time through consistency. People do not trust what shifts like the wind. They respect what stands like a mountain. When your words match your actions, when your principles remain the same whether the world applauds or criticizes, you create a foundation of authority that cannot be shaken. Consistency is not about perfection. it is about reliability. The world may not remember every word you speak, but they will never forget whether they could count on you. When you live by principles instead of moods, you teach others that your character is not negotiable. People may not always agree with you, but they will respect your steadiness because it is rare. A person who is one thing today and another tomorrow gains attention for a moment, but loses respect in the end. Authority is born in the quiet repetition of truth, discipline, and values. And when others see that storms cannot sway you, that temptations cannot corrupt you, they begin to trust you, even when they do not like you. Consistency is the soil where respect grows, and it is the proof that strength is not an act, but a way of life. Courage to stand alone. There comes a moment in every life when the crowd moves one way, and the truth calls you another. It is in that moment that respect is either won or lost. People may not always like the one who stands alone, but they will respect them. For courage is the rarest strength of all, the strength to walk the path of principle, even when no one walks beside you. To stand alone is not arrogance, it is loyalty to truth, to dignity, to self-respect. Many bend to please, many follow to belong, but only a few dare to remain unshaken when the cost is isolation. And it is those few who command the deepest respect. History does not remember the voices that echoed in unison. It remembers the single voice that spoke against the tide. Respect clings to those who choose principle over popularity, truth over comfort, and conviction over fear. When you stand alone with courage, you prove that your strength does not depend on numbers, but on your soul. And people, even in their silence, cannot help but bow, not to your power, but to your unyielding courage.